So hey guys, happy Friday. It is a special day today because I am here at Universal to film a walking guide to Halloween Horror Nights 31. I know a lot of you out there are coming to Universal for maybe your first time to do Halloween Horror Nights, or you're just trying out Stay and Scream or something new for Halloween Horror Nights, and you want an actual walking guide so you can see it visually, to know where everything is, to not come in guessing, and this video is for you. So I'm gonna go in Universal Studios, guide you around the park, and tell you all you need to know for Halloween Horror Nights 31. So if this is the first video you're ever seen on my channel, hi, I am Liz. I'm a huge Halloween Horror Nights and Universal fan. I've been attending Halloween Horror Nights since 2001. It's my favorite event of the year, and I love creating announcement videos, rumor videos, tips videos like this one, and then during the event, I vlog. I vlog almost every night I attend the event, so you'll get to see lots of trips into the fog, watch people get scared, watch my friends and I enjoy the event, and get a taste of the spooky season at home if you can't be here the entire season. So if you love Halloween Horror Nights, if you love Universal, make sure to subscribe. So I'm gonna start walking into the park now. I do want to preface this with, I am going off of how the event has worked in previous years because today is almost a week until the event starts. So we don't know all the information yet. We don't know how everything is going to work. I'm gonna make educated guesses based on how the event has worked in previous years to give you the best guide I can give you. And hopefully all of these things remain true. If I attend the event and find out that a lot of things have changed, I will make an updated video. But this is for those people who are coming the first weekend, who don't have that luxury of waiting for an updated video. This is for you. Also, if you're looking for more generalized tips for Halloween Horror Nights, I did already create a video for that, and I will link that up above. But that is my top 5 tips for what you need to prepare for Halloween Horror Nights. This is an actual walking guide. We've made it to the entrance of Universal Studios. Later this week, this will get a full Halloween Horror Nights treatment, so you will have no doubt that you're in the right place. There will most likely be a medallion in the center there and decorations on all the arches. But for now, still a week before, we're still in standard Universal mode. But if you are not a resort guest, or it's after 8 p.m., this is your way into Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm gonna come back here in a moment, but if you are a resort guest and it's before 8 p.m., I wanna show you where you can enter. If it's the same as last year, if you're a resort guest, you'll walk to these gates and you're gonna make a turn and you're gonna go by the globe. So you'll see the Universal globe spinning, and you're gonna keep walking all the way over here to your dedicated resort guest entrance. So you're gonna walk like you're going to Blue Man Group when Blue Man Group was still a thing, or Nickelodeon Studios if you're a really OG Universal fan. This is where Nickelodeon Studios was, or just the side of Rip Ride Rockit. So all the way over here, we're assuming it's gonna be here again, and there will be an attendant standing right here at this entrance. There'll be someone standing in this vicinity to check to make sure you have a hotel key. If you have a hotel key and it's before 8 p.m., you can go down this path. It seems to be open at the moment, so I'm gonna walk down it. All right, it's closed there. So you'll walk down this path, you'll go all the way in, and there will be people to scan your Horror Nights ticket all the way down there. Now I've heard if you're here before the gates open, they will still let you in here. They will corral you over here and let you in once the park opens. So this is not a Stay and Scream location. If you want Stay and Scream, you'll have to go into one of the 2 locations inside that I'm gonna show you here in a bit. But if it's after the gates have opened, but before 8 p.m., resort guests can come over here. You cut in the side by Rip Ride Rockit. It's very convenient and you avoid a lot of crowds. So that is your resort guest entrance. Rip Ride Rockit. Now let's go back to the main entrance. Also, if you watched my tips video, I recommended getting one of these fans, and let me tell you, it is necessary today. Halloween Horror Nights starts next week and it is still so hot. So invest in one of these. I promise you, you won't regret it. So for everyone else, if you're not a resort guest, you're coming in here to the main gates. Now, before I take you into the park, I want to show you another important thing that I've talked about before, and that is will call tickets. So if you haven't purchased your Halloween Horror Nights tickets before you get here, which you absolutely should, you should buy them online. But if you have procrastinated, you'll be able to buy them here at these kiosks. But if you're like me and have already ordered your tickets and you did will call, The will call kiosk over here to the right, next to guest services. So there's hardly anyone here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my Halloween Horror Nights ticket. Might as well. Okay, I just picked up my Halloween Horror Nights ticket. So there it is in my hand from will call, and we're ready to go check out the rest of the park. We're gonna pause for a moment and enjoy this breezeway that's made by the arches, because I am completely melted from standing in the sun for all of 2 minutes over there. Oh, man. Again, if you watch my tips video, prepare for the Florida heat. It is scorching out. Once you have your tickets, you will head directly inside the normal turnstiles, the same ones you enter during the day. If you get here before the gates open, you'll just be held in this area, and it will stretch all the way back into City Walk most likely. But this is where you enter into the park. You've entered the gates right there. Immediately upon entering, there's this board that will have Horror Nights maps. So if this guide is not enough and you need more guidance, literally right when you walk in, gates, maps, and if you come in on this side, more maps right there. They will switch them out for Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, my first taste of Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, I'm so excited. I honestly forgot. I'm here filming this video and I forgot, but I'm so excited to see it. I've only seen it in pictures. So exciting. So obviously I'm going to take you around and show you the Scarezones and the food booths and Stay and Scream and house entrances as best as I can guess. So the first thing you see when you're going to enter the park is going to be the Pumpkin Lord. The Pumpkin Lord is going to be right there, heckling you as you walk in. You're going to have your first scare zone right here, and if what we assume is true, then your first house will be right here as well. Based on previous years, your entrance to the first house should be right here, and it should be Spirits of the Coven. If our assumptions are correct, then this will be Spirits of the Coven entering right here by Despicable Me. You'll queue around in the back and go to the soundstage to the right. But, oh, look at all these pumpkins. Well, you know we have to go find Lil Boo, right? Because Lil Boo is here. 31 on the fence. All of the things. Find all the pumpkins. Oh, there he is. So obviously these are all going to be lit up, glowing, to introduce you to Halloween Horror Nights 31. Love it. We had a short detour in the tour. I saw Sam from Expedition Theme Park, so I got to say hi and talk to him for a while. And then I just got to say hello to Rika, who subscribes to the channel. So thanks for saying hi, Rika. But let's continue with this tour. We've got one of our first food booths here, right in front of the stage. And in theory, this will also be a house entrance right here. So you've seen it before in my vlogs. This entire field will be a giant queue. So if we are correct, this is going to be Hellblock Horror, which makes sense because in theory this should have been an IP, so it makes sense that they would have put it in this spot, but it's not an IP anymore. It is Hellblock Horror. You will enter somewhere around here, most likely. Okay, once you've made it to here, you're kind of at a very busy section of the park. So you've got food booths to the right, more food booths ahead. You're gonna have 3 houses in this corner. You're gonna have the tribute store, you're gonna have a scare zone, and this is also where Stay and Scream is. So let's get to it. Okay, let's start with your house locations. So most likely there will be a house entrance right here at Jimmy Fallon. Yes, you will enter over here. They'll have that blockaded off. You're gonna go up the ramp, and that will be an entrance to a house. Now, you're only gonna walk through this first hallway and then make a turn and go into the soundstage area. But that is going to be the entrance for most likely Halloween. Then down here at the end of the street, you'll have 2 house entrances, one to the left and one to the right. So in theory, your left entrance would be Chupacabras and your right entrance will be Dead Man's Pier, if we're correct. And this right here is going to be your exit for those houses. So you will come back through Jimmy Fallon and dump right back out here for at least one of the houses. Some of the houses dump you all the way back near that end of Jimmy Fallon. So it really just depends on how they're handling the exits. But you'll either come back out over on the other side of Jimmy Fallon, or come back out right here. We have the Scarezone Sweet Revenge, which you have probably seen all over social media already. There's Lil Boo again. And there is the tribute store right there. So all these props with the fake corn, tempting fates. So it looks like we'll probably have someone up there barking at us because there is a ladder to get up there. I'm sure you guys have seen these props in many videos already, but we've got candy. They've got them covered now. Their little details, lots of fake corn, pumpkins, Halloween goodness, and we're all waiting to see what happened to this guy on the tractor because it can't be good. It cannot be good. So I'm gonna come back to the tribute store because there's some people taking pictures and enjoying the entrance of it right now. So instead, I'm gonna take you over on this loop to see all the food booths. Here are the major props for the Scarezone. There is the tribute store, there is the mummy, and here is your food booth row. So let's check out what's at these food booths. Ah, yes. This is the pizza skull and Lil Boo's spicy pumpkin bun. I'm sure that one's gonna be popular. There's some pictures. The cake pop, at least. Bog Slime 2, the sequel. So walking toward Transformers, here's the new brick that they put in. It's much more level. No more twisted ankles, hopefully. And down here we have, ooh, I don't think I saw these yesterday. A spicy turkey squash bun, petrified rat tails, ooh, seasoned funnel fries, crab dip, ooh, those sound good. And a Major Sweets ice cream sandwich. Okay. And the, ooh, pumpkin ginger snap punch. Sign me up for that one. That one sounds great. Got Major Sweets ice cream sandwich. Be careful with that one. Major Sweets seems like he's kind of bad news. He might not be the same afterwards. So let's see, that's your vampire. Oh, Twisted Taters. Mike will be happy. This is Mike's favorite booth. He loves some Twisted Taters. Although I will say, where's the salt and vinegar, Universal? Salt and vinegar was the best. Bring it back, please. This booth right in front of Transformers is where you're gonna get your Twisted Taters. So we're continuing to walk toward Transformers. We're gonna make a right to go back toward Rip Ride Rocket. And this is gonna be a couple more food booths and a bar. The first booth you come to, you've got the souvenir drink. You've got the haunted horseshoe, which seems interesting. And the killer stovetop custard. Ooh, very interesting. I saw some people got to try that yesterday, so I'm very curious to see what everyone thinks. You can scan these boards to find out more. So there's the trick or treat. Okay, here is the important one. The No Chance in Hell PB&J. It is a fried Uncrustable. It is amazing. It is very expensive this year. It's $15, but it was my favorite treat at last year's event, so I highly recommend it. It is here at this booth, closest to Jimmy Fallon. It looks like they're doing hot maple syrup this year instead of hot honey, but I'm gonna try to make that at home because Uncrustables are very easy to get and I have an air fryer and I think it can be done. So there you go. There are your food booths in this area. I need to check out that one, but first I'm gonna turn around and look at this bar. So we're hopefully gonna get more theming in here because this bar is usually very themed. But here is the menu back here. If you want to check it out, it is just going to be alcohol and soda. All right, I'm going to take a quick shade break here. Man, the good news is that Halloween Horror Nights is mostly after dark. So it's still going to be hot and humid, but the sun is what's killer right now. The sun is brutal. So thankfully, Halloween Horror Nights happening after dark. However, if you are doing Stay and Scream, prepare for this because Stay and Scream, you have to be in the park by 5 p.m. It is still very bright at 5 p.m. Bring your fan, wear a comfortable clothes. You're gonna be sweating for Stay and Scream if you're here in September and probably October too. So just get ready for it. So the final food booth for this area is directly in front of Jimmy Fallon or directly in front of Halloween. And we have Electric Death and Ghoul Juice. I think Mike liked the Ghoul Juice last year. You've got some other beverages to choose from. Just a bar here. So here's what we have outside the tribute store. Some of these look familiar from inside the exit of the old tribute store. They were all the hints for the Scare Zone coming out here. But this is also a hint for something that's coming to City Walk, which is very exciting. Look for the dead Coconut Club, replacing the red Coconut Club. That's the rumor. With the Universal Monsters theme. That sounds really, really cool. Can't wait to check that out. The Mummy, still not reopened. There's a show happening over here, so it's very noisy, but the last little prop in this area. So I want to show you more in that area, but they're doing the show over there and it's very noisy, so I'm going to come back to it. However, it did remind me of something I want to talk about, which was there are times where Halloween Horror Nights gets very overwhelming, it gets very noisy, and there are a few quieter areas that you can kind of retreat to, and directly in front of me is one of those areas. Now, it is usually an entrance point for the Scare Zone, so you might have scare actors there, and now beat builders are going on this side. Got things happening everywhere. But directly in front of me is sometimes a quieter area. It's also a bathroom spot, which is kind of hidden. So I'm gonna go show you over across the street. So to get you where I am, I'm in front of the Irish store. There's Louis. This is Starbucks on the corner. Haagen-Dazs right here. On the side of Louis here. Now there will be people eating at these tables because people come get pizza and sit out here. But sometimes these tables won't be full and you can escape some of the noise in this little area. There are restrooms right around this corner too, and I assume that's a smoking area. But it can be a little quieter back here, as you can tell. Like I said, scare actors do come in and out of these areas, so don't think you're gonna be able to escape scare actors. But you can tell how much quieter it is here versus where I just was. So it's an option. Speaking of Louis, so Louis is gonna be where Scare Actor Dining is this year. Now, I don't know where they're gonna have you enter because it's their first year having it, but this is Louis. It's right across from Starbucks, down at the end of the street from the Mummy. This is Louis. This is where Scare Actor Dining is going to be. We did see that they installed this, so they are getting ready for it. And the AC feels amazing in here, let me tell you. Okay, Beat Builders ended, so I've walked around the corner. So there's Transformers. Here's the Starbucks. Now, if it's like recent years, you will enter Stay and Scream over here to the left. The area by Transformers will be blocked off. You're gonna have to do a loop around and walk over here to enter the New York Stay and Scream. So this is one of your two major Stay and Scream locations. It's right here in New York. If it's like previous years, this is where the gates will be blocked off. You will come to somewhere in this region. They will have employees with scanners. They will scan your Halloween Horror Nights ticket. They'll give you a map if you want it, and then you'll enter into Stay and Scream. Well, like I said, Scare Actor Dining's there, so I assume they're gonna have you enter outside of Stay and Scream for that. But then you will have New York to roam around. Don't know if the Louis pickup window will be open. I hope so. The Mummy will not be running because he will be blocked off from going to there. It will go till about the end of Finnegan's. That's where the fence will be to prevent you from going through the rest of the park. There is Finnegan's. It will be very busy. If you can get in, more power to you. There is also Auntie Anne's. That is usually open during Stay and Scream. This show is, I think, finishing, but we're gonna go check out the food booth that's right here, the Meats Locker. So if you watched my vlogs last year, this was my spot. I stood right here and watched Seek and Destroy over and over and over. But sadly, I will not be able to use that spot this year because it's gonna have a line. So here's your menu items for Meats, which is themed off of the Leave It to Cleaver Halloween Horror Nights house. I think it was 2009. Fried zombie brains, spicy fried chicken, some angry bear meat, a gummy heart, and I think this is just brilliant. Gross, but brilliant. Fresh ground princess, sweet raspberry flavored Rice Krispie treat, and it looks like raw hamburger. Wow. The theming though. So this is what we call Sting Alley, and It has been a quiet area in the past, but it won't be this year since they have this, which looks like it's a little mini scare zone of its own. The meat counter with all the products here, getting ready for Halloween Horror Nights. And I think it's even got, yep, it's even got more stuff here. Got your Bloody Mary cocktails right here, and the flaps that say do not enter. However, I wonder if this is like a one-way through thing. That's what it looks like. It looks like they're gonna only let you walk through that direction. Unless that's just theming, I don't know. That to me looks like it might be a boo hole. Are there gonna be scare actors in here? That would be amazing if there are. That looks like 2 boo holes. I feel like we have a mini scare zone here. That would be amazing because they haven't used Sting Alley for a scare zone in a very long time. The last time I remember was 2011. They had Lady Luck. Lady Luck was all on those balconies. There was one up here. There was one up here. There were Lady Lucks everywhere. But it's been a while. So that would be very, very cool. So now the second part of the Stay and Scream experience is that somewhere in this queue, typically around the back of here, they will have people holding signs for the 2 houses that are your options to start. I don't know what those 2 houses are going to be yet. I would assume that Halloween would be one of them, and maybe Hellblock Horror would be the other, but I do not know that for a fact. Do not quote me on that. But there will be people holding signs for those houses, and it is up to you whether or not you want to go wait in those lines. Obviously, if you wait in those lines, you're going to be some of the first people through the house. If you just hang out in Stay and Scream, you might find a cooler spot to hang out, but you're going to have to wait in line behind all those other people who waited in those 2 queues before you went to the queue. So it's really up to you and what kind of Stay and Scream experience you want to have. You can always skip those 2 houses if you're staying in Stay and Scream and just go to whatever other house is going to open next, but you're going to be waiting in line for a house to open that's not open yet, if they even let you into the queue. So it's up to you on how you want to attack it, but if you are doing Stay and Scream, I would pick which one of the 2 houses is your most anticipated, get in line for that, and then keep going through those front houses. So that is New York Stay and Scream in a nutshell. Leave me a comment down below if you still have any questions about Stay and Scream in New York that I didn't answer. I'm gonna go ahead and move on through the park. So at the end over here, across from Louis, we have another food booth, a pigeon attack that's happening right now. There are no menus on that booth yet, so I do not know what will be there. I assume drinks. So I've moved on. I am now in front of Mel's. Here's Transformers, Hollywood right around the corner. And this is the Weekends bar. The Weekend After Hours Nightmare Bar. This is what you're looking at here. Save Your Tears drink. Lots of different beverages on tap. Hollywood's having a little Dora the Explorer moment. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna turn here because this is your entrance to the Stay and Scream location number 2. That is the Simpsons Stay and Scream location. It's also the location of Ghoulish, which is the first show that we're gonna see for Halloween Horror Nights, which is the Lagoon show. So I've said before in my videos that I have never done Simpsons Stay and Scream before, but I did talk to some friends who have done Simpsons Stay and Scream, and this is what they told me. So if that information is correct, you will enter here at Central Park to go into Stay and Scream for Simpsons. So this is gonna double as a Stay and Scream tour and also a Ghoulish tour, because at Ghoulish you're gonna enter here as well. I assume somewhere in here you're going to scan your ticket to go into Stay and Scream, and they're gonna funnel you through Central Park this direction, avoiding the scare zone, so we're gonna have to come back to the scare zone. But you will walk all the way through here to get to the entrance of Simpsons. So this is the Scarecrow scare zone. We'll come back to that in a moment. But this is going to be your Lagoon show. Lagoon. You can see all the pieces in the water getting ready for it. And really, you can stand anywhere between these levels. There's 4 levels. You can see the Lagoon show anywhere through here. There's a grassy knoll area. Lots of options to watch the show. So at this point, you have to choose whether or not you want to do the tent houses or the parade building houses. So this year, your parade houses are The Weekend and Universal Monsters Legends Collide. whereas your 2 tent houses are going to be Bugs Eaten Alive and Descendants of Destruction. So from what I hear, obviously this side is going to be the more popular side. If you want a little bit of a quieter Stay and Scream experience and you also want some AC, some food, some drinks, I would turn toward The Simpsons. Those are your 2 options for Stay and Scream over here in the Simpsons area. So let's go back through Scarecrow. Let's go check out the 2 houses over here and all of these food booths. Okay, so I'm back where I was at the entrance of Central Park. This is the Scarecrow Scare Zone. I wanted to see this food booth before I moved on. We have the Skull drink, which looks like it might be like a mango nata. And then these tacos that look really good. There's a nice fountain over here for pictures. Very nice. Let's check out this Scarecrow Scare Zone. This is going to be our barn. It still has not been constructed, but this is going to be a barn that we're going to walk through. Looks like it's going to be amazing. There's a bunch of lanterns in the trees. We've got some dead trees. We've got an outhouse for them to scare behind. Some fence pieces. I am very much looking forward to this zone. Scarecrow was the scariest house, so we'll see if it's the scariest scare zone. A wagon. Love it. So this will be full of fog. Very atmospheric. So now if you don't do Stay and Scream and you're coming this direction, you will make a right to go to the parade building houses and a left to go to the tent houses. So let's turn to the right and head to the back and make our way around towards Simpsons. I'm walking toward ET. We're going to come back to these food booths in a moment. There is ET, and there are going to be 2 house entrances right back here. Typically, they put original parade building entrance here and the new parade building entrance right over here. If that remains true, then Legends Collide will enter here and the Weekend will enter over here. There'll be queues, there'll be signs all set up, but this is where you enter and you will exit over here by ET. Both houses have typically exited at the same spot. It's a very long walk. You go all the way to the back lot, all the way around through the parking lots to come back through the ETQ and enter the park through here. So if you do one parade building house, you will exit right here. You can go back and do the next parade building house, walk all the way back and exit through here again. There are the parade building houses. Let's move on to these food booths. You know it's hot when I have to put my hair up because I am a Floridian, born and raised here. I can handle having my hair down in the heat, but it is so humid today, the hair had to go up. So it's in a ponytail. I am in the shade here to show you what should be the pizza fries locations. If you're a Halloween Horror Nights fan, you know that pizza fries are a really big deal. And typically they're sold in 2 places. One is Louie's, where Scare After Dining is, and 2 is here at Kids Zone Pizza Company, right next to SpongeBob SquarePants. The 2 parade houses are right over here. There is the Animal Actors stage, and then these food booths, Scarecrow Scare Zone right back there. So if you're looking for pizza fries, I'm sure they're gonna be back. They should be here at this location. Meanwhile, at the food booth right next to it, we have the garlic Philly cheese steak, which sounds pretty good. The mummy cookie is very cute. And we've got another themed drink. This booth has no menus. I'm gonna assume that is a bar. So if we're halfway around the park and you're like, oh man, I really wanted that twisted tater, it's here outside Scarecrow. You've got the twisted tater with queso, your standard twisted taters, and your blood and guts. Oh, they didn't do the hot dog one this time. It's just a twisted tater with queso. There is a Chucky themed booth over here to the left. Bumblebee Tacos is typically open during Halloween Horror Nights, so that is an option, as well as the food court in Simpsons. If you're looking for food, those stay open. See what we have over here. So we have a Dirty Valentine drink, a Good Guys burger, which sounds very interesting, Chili Lee Ray, and a Wanna Play beignet. Ooh, Nashville hot chicken, pimento cheese. Oh yes, I am definitely trying that. And there's a picture of that burger. Oh boy, brace yourselves. Now, rumor has it, we are going to have our chainsaw gang back in here. So fingers crossed, this area is full of the sound of chainsaws and screams. So I am walking out of the Simpsons area and I'm heading to Men in Black to go toward the 2 tent houses that are here for Halloween Horror Nights 31. So to the right here we have the Coca-Cola Building, which is now a freestyle machine refill. So you can buy your freestyle cup there and refill it. I can guarantee that's just gonna be a bar because this area gets packed with people. The entrance to Descendants of Destruction will be right here. You will go down that ramp. The sign will be right here. Express will go down one ramp. The regular tickets will go down the other one. And Bugs Eaten Alive will enter right over here by the restrooms at Men in Black. And you will go backstage right back there. So that is your tent houses this year. There is no tent 3 back there. So that will be it for this side of the park. However, I do highly recommend an AC break at the Men in Black store because the AC there is fabulous. At the very back of the park, we have the second show, which is going to be Nightmare Fuel. It is in the Fear Factor Arena, formerly Bill and Ted's spot. Sounds like they're working on construction back there at the moment, but there's the lagoon, the view looking back at the park, Simpsons, Men in Black, and Nightmare Fuel. So you can see the areas where they hold people before the show starts. They don't have the sign out yet, but this is going to be Nightmare Fuel. They will hold you in all of these areas up until it's time to load in for the show. They will load you in and there will be show times out here once they add the board. Right outside there, you're gonna have a bar, typical. And then in the center, oh, Chucky is back. I haven't seen anyone post that, but granted, I have not been on Twitter yet this morning. Chucky is back. So this is a photo op that they had last year. Looks like they brought it back again this year. So you have that photo op, and then you have the pumpkin food booth, which the menus are gone. So yesterday there were menus out, and I was really excited for this one because it's going to have Korean style corn dogs, which I really wanted to try. But they're gone today, don't know why. But you're gonna have, looks like Korean style corn dogs, some drinks as usual, and by far the cutest stand. Look at the lights around the top. It's gonna be adorable at night. And then your typical drinks here, freestyle machine there, restrooms here. Women enter on this side, men on the other. And Chucky. So now we've made it over to London / Diagon Alley. This area is a Horror Nights dead zone. There will not be anything in this pathway. Diagon Alley, it is a safe zone. So if you need a break from the scares and the fog, that is one of your options. This pathway, scare-free. London, scare-free. Diagon Alley, spook-free unless you find something in that Borgin & Burke shop that's kind of scary. But otherwise, spook-free. You can take a break in there and get some butterbeer. So across from London and King's Cross, we have, it looks to be an actual bar back here, themed to match the witch scare zone. So here's your beverages. Let's go check the bar and back. Got some runes on the pillars. All the way in the back here, it's going to be a bar. They've got it marked off so you can't come back here. But I'm gonna, oh, it's the same thing that's out there. So nothing really to see here at the moment, but we do see shelves, which leads us to believe it's going to have actual liquor back here rather than just pre-mixed drinks. We shall see. We've made it into San Francisco. We've got Sting playing, and we're headed into the Witches Scare Zone. Looks amazing. I cannot wait to see this one in action. I love the props, love the stage. We're gonna have fire. There's a cauldron here, so I'm expecting some really great effects there. Definitely gonna have a scare actor in there. Oh, I think we're almost done with this tour. It looks like one more food booth right here. And then somewhere over here is going to be, I assume, the entrance to the last house. So here at the food truck outside of Richter's is where you will find the mac and cheese bowls. Those sound very heavy for a night at Halloween Horror Nights, but if you're really hungry, might be a good option. So the final house is Blumhouse, and none of us really know how this is going to work because it's their first year ever using Fast and Furious Q as a house location. So I assume the entrance and exit will be over here somewhere. Maybe the exit will be on the other side by King's Cross, but we really won't know until next week when the signs go up. So for now, I'm gonna guess entrance somewhere in this vicinity. Also, since I'm standing right here, if for any reason, if you ever need first aid, it is right over here. You can see the sign over there, first aid. You can go in there. We can give you a bag of ice if you need that. I think they can give out Tylenol, not much more than that. But if you do need first aid, that's one of your first aid locations. So that means we have one final stop on this tour, and that is Hollywood to go see Graveyard Deadly Unrest, the final scare zone that we haven't visited yet. Okay, well I'm back at Mel's, Hollywood. There's a line to meet SpongeBob right now. Ignore the cheery music, that's gonna be gone when it's Halloween Horror Nights time, but here we are at Nettlewood Cemetery, going into the scare zone. Lots of neat props in here. I wanna go to the AP store to get my magnet, which is right over here. And then across the street is the Five and Dime, which has Halloween Horror Nights merchandise, so I'm gonna go check that out as well. So there we go, I've got my magnet, which is the mummy theme. That is free with your AP, you don't have to pay for it. Directly across the street, let's go check out the merch. I'm really hoping they have the shirt I want so I don't have to walk all the way over to Islands of Adventure because it is so hot today. There is the Pumpkin Lord. The cups are very cute. I saw no Lil Boo merchandise in there, and also none of the new candles. So I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna walk all the way to Islands of Adventure, go check out the Halloween store that's over there. Dedication, y'all, this is dedication. If you have questions of things that I did not cover in this video, leave them down below. I am planning to film a Q&A to go up next week. So if you have any last minute questions, it will go up before opening night. I have some other questions already saved, so definitely leave them down below if you need help. Okay, I like this a lot. This is a perfect spot for a scare actor to be hiding right there and come running out at you. I love it. They're definitely setting up plenty of spaces for scares in this zone. This might be my favorite to come watch. I'm calling it early that this is gonna be my one to come watch people get scared. One other helpful tip is here in Hollywood, right at the corner where you enter the park, there is a time board. That time board will list Halloween Horror Nights waits on it. So if you need to know house times, one, get the app. The app will tell you the wait times, but if you don't have the app, you can come here and see the wait times without having to go all the way to the houses. One of the last things you do before you leave Halloween Horror Nights is you go to the gift store. So I guess I'm checking out this gift store. Make sure I don't find anything interesting in here. Ooh, what is that? Is that a spirit jersey? Oh, snap. And at the end of the night, you're gonna head out right through here after a lovely night in the fog. You will have conquered Halloween Horror Nights. Hopefully a little easier with all those tips. But instead of heading that direction, I'm gonna head this direction because I'm doing this crazy walk to Islands of Adventure because I'm a crazy person for Halloween. So I think I'm going to include that part in my regular weekly vlog. So with that, I am going to sign off. I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below what you're most looking forward to at Halloween Horror Nights, and if this video taught you anything that you didn't already know. So until next time, stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you in the fog. Bye.